Shahai Fun, an ordinary high school student, is walking home from school when his friend Lu catches up with him. Lu surprises Shahai with tickets to an event and urges him to confess to his crush who happens to be walking ahead of them. However, before Shahai can act, a truck comes barreling towards him, and Lu fails to notice it. Later, Shahai wakes up in class with a pounding headache after barely getting through 10 pages of his textbook. Lu manages to wake him up just as the teacher arrives, but they are interrupted by the sudden appearance of zombies. Shahai is so shocked by the study material that he jumps onto the windowsill. The teacher is clearly unhappy with the interruption and punishes him by forcing him to copy the academy guidelines repeatedly. Despite the teacher's authority and her attractive appearance, he refuses to take orders. It seems his friend feels the same way. As for himself, he finds himself in a different world, one where high school is humanity's last hope. But he can't say he envies his situation. To summarize, it has been 50 years since the zombie apocalypse, and the academy they attend serves as the final defense and research facility for this world. Protecting the last remaining survivors is crucial. While Zhao is gazing out the window at a ruined city, the zombies suddenly break free from their confinement and rush toward him with ravenous hunger. His former crush comes in a split second later and saves his backside by carving the undead back into meat, stepping into the limelight. The #1 beauty of the academy holds her sword proudly, but as Xiao comes forward to say thank you, the idiot trips up on a pool of blood and falls back almost through the open window. Zhao was saved from falling by a grip of a hand, but as a consequence, he landed on top of the most attractive girl in school on his first day. After receiving a harsh slap, he found himself cleaning the men's bathrooms with a mop. He felt like everyone he knew in this world had become strangers. All but one person, Lu, approached him with a sign-up sheet for courses, and they even considered taking a course together. Lu was a true friend, someone who would stand by him even if the rest of the world rejected him in this new environment. However, things took a sudden turn for the worse. An alarm sounds somewhere deep in the school, and bells ring out everywhere across the halls. The randomized survival drill for the year was beginning. What the heck kind of school has a random survival drill? I can only imagine their version of a pop quiz. Luo and Xiao run for the exit. As if they don't make it, the boys knew that the infected creatures could suddenly be released into the school, leaving them trapped and vulnerable. It was a terrifying thought, but there was a reason behind the madness. With limited resources for human survival, only the strongest would prevail. It was a harsh reality, but they had no other choice. Weakness was not an option. Little did they know, a dangerous experimental subject, 009, had escaped from its captivity and would soon join the horde of zombies storming the school. The situation was dire, and it seemed almost too convenient for the plot. The student union president quickly arrived at the research division and took charge, ordering all the science teams to find and eliminate the menace before it was too late. Time was running out, and the fate of the school rested in their hands. During the chaos of the survival drill, Subject 009 presented their best opportunity yet to understand the virus. With only 60 seconds until the doors closed, the boys and several other students made a desperate run for safety. But just as they were about to make it, Luo stumbled and fell. Despite Lulu's protests to leave him behind and save themselves, Zhao immediately turned back to help his friend. Yao refuses to accept failure and assists their fallen comrade in getting to safety. However, despite their efforts, they are unable to escape in time and are forced to take refuge inside the building. While hiding in a supply closet deep within the school, Luo accidentally bumps into a bucket, which reveals the disgusting face of a zombie lurking outside the door. The loud clang of the bucket echoes against the walls and attracts a horde of zombies from within a 50-mile radius. The protagonist ruefully remarks that even the alarming noise won't attract any attractive girls to their area. With the zombies closing in on them, the boys are left with no option but to find an alternative escape route. XO inquires if there is any other way out, and Luo points to an air vent in the ceiling as the only possibility. Refraining from cracking a joke, the protagonist manages to lead the zombies away from his friend by luring them on a marathon through the vacant corridors. However, XO's luck runs out as he stumbles upon a terrifying zombie known as Subject 009. This beastly creature possesses razor-sharp claws that make the protagonist's mothers look dull in comparison. While dodging its brutal strikes, XO narrowly escapes with his life, running through the halls with the creature hot on his heels from the blood-stained roof. In a near-death experience, the zombie's claws penetrate his chest, and XO appears to die on the spot. Despite this, his indomitable spirit refuses to yield, and he rises to his feet, determined to keep fighting. To the protagonist's amazement, XO's wounds miraculously disappear, and Subject 009 turns its attention towards Luo. The protagonist yells for the creature to come back, deeming it too ugly to handle. He dashes towards XO and manages to dodge the zombie's attempts to attack him, ultimately grabbing hold of its arm and hurling the creature over his body. With a loud crack, the beast slams against the wall with thunderous force and is unable to continue its pursuit. As the protagonist holds the beast by its throat, Zhao suddenly feels an irresistible urge to take a massive bite out of it. Succumbing to the temptation, Zhao sinks his teeth into the monster's flesh and consumes it with fervor, leaving the creature's lifeless body aside. After his meal, Zhao notices that his fingers have transformed into claws similar to the beast's. Zhao tests out his newfound weapon on an Olo zombie and dispatches it with ease. With his new ability honed and easily controllable, he heads back to Luo, who is in disbelief that his friend has managed to survive. The overwhelmed Luo immediately inquires whether Zhao has been infected with the transmitted disease. Zhao confirms that he has, but he seems unaffected by it, thanks to his new claws. The protagonist muses to himself that it's not like he has ever been with a girl to contract the disease. Before Ko can elaborate further, their conversation is abruptly cut short by the sound of troops storming into the building. Windows shatter, and soldiers clad in gas masks and military hoodies storm the hallways, reporting to their superior Ussi that they have found no trace of Subject 009. However, they have apprehended the 2 students remaining in the building and have taken them into custody for questioning. The protagonist reflects on the absurdity of the situation, with the school treating its students like convicted criminals. Ussi walks in and demands to know why the students were even in the building to begin with. The protagonist offers a brief explanation that they didn't make it out in time because he had turned back to help his friend. Ussi continues to question him about the mysterious special specimen and expresses surprise at not having seen Subject 009. Ussi surprises the protagonist by releasing Zhu from his restraints, and the protagonist realizes that there may be more to Ussi than just coldness and hostility. As she walks out, she offers him a piece of advice: serving oneself is the only way to survive in this world. The protagonist muses to himself that being a superhuman mutant may also be a viable option for survival. The protagonist responds to Ussi's advice by asserting that leaving his friend behind would make him lose his humanity. As the protagonist walks through the halls, a mysterious man appears before him and offers him unparalleled power in exchange for joining forces. The man's appearance seems to be an illusion. The mysterious man quickly fades away, and the protagonist finds himself back in the familiar hallway that he had already passed through. Among the students, he avoids drawing attention to himself and sees Luo, and Luo grabs X's hand and snaps him out of his stupor. He tells X that he has been worried sick since they were taken to the interrogation room. Luo seems to be aware of X's secret mutant abilities. As a result of Zhao's comment, the disciplinary committee member, the situation escalates quickly, and Zhao finds himself facing off against a group of angry students led by the disciplinary committee member. Ji Li Zhao received a hard slap across the face, which caused him to stumble and hit an ornate display. He was then pinned down by the woman's fancy white heel. She was angry because not only had he failed the drill, but he had also shown disrespect towards the student union. However, the woman's anger was misplaced, as the document did not mention anything about his failure. When Luo read the document aloud, the woman picked up a piece of the broken display and threatened her. She was asked twice to release him, but instead, she had the audacity to talk back to the person holding her hostage. After being warned twice, Ms. Pristine finally released Ji Li Zhao's friend. Even though the boys had failed their drill, they were given a second chance to prove themselves by completing an off-campus assignment provided by someone important. The assignment was considered very difficult, and the other people in the hallway felt sorry for the boys for having to undertake such a challenging task. Li returns to the office and is informed that the special variant 009 had been killed under mysterious circumstances. Later, during their outing, Yao Luck is introduced to a new teacher and they are assigned to a mission with no weapons provided. If they successfully complete the mission without any injuries, they will be awarded 200 credits each. 2 of the students, referred to as beta males, are excited about this reward and are simping over it. One of them tries to take on a leadership role and acts like a commander, but this behavior annoys a cunning student in the rear seat. Upon exiting the bus, the students first consult their maps to gather information about their surroundings. As soon as the students exit the bus, they are attacked by a zombie that has fallen off a roof or glitched through a wall. One of the female students throws a blade into the back of the zombie's head, killing it instantly. She warns the 2 scared boys that they must rely on luck because she will not be there to save them if they are not careful. She also expresses uncertainty about hitting the target again, given the zombie's strange appearance. Despite being carried by someone, Mr. Tough Stuff tries to maintain his authority, but they all hurry to catch up with the girl who saved them. The students were assigned the mission of gathering food from a nearby supermarket, but upon arrival, it appears that there is nothing left to take. One of the boys suggests that they return empty-handed but alive. However, Mr. Tough Stuff is determined to obtain the promised credits and refuses to leave without accomplishing the mission. Despite the previous statement that there was nothing left, it turns out that the supermarket is fully stocked with supplies. However, before they can begin to collect anything, Zhu has a strange feeling that something is not right, which is later revealed to be his own unique ability. The girl also senses something amiss and, in a matter of seconds, the ground suddenly erupts without warning. As the ground erupts, a massive zombie, twice the size of 009, emerges and charges towards them. The two boys at the back of the group panic and flee first, while the girl takes charge and leads the rest of the group towards the nearest bus. They continue to run as the enormous zombie chases after them relentlessly. Despite their efforts, they can't seem to shake off the monster.